grown man with a
little
mohawk, and
cousins.
even I think that's a little bit much. Just so you know.
I did it to see if I can get your reaction. These are from my little cousin's birthday party. Um no, the girl. There's three of them.
Yeah,
She wanted
I
a
was gonna say
dance
he's brand
party.
new,
She wanted a dance party. So yeah,
and those glasses scream dance party.
we well she had a black she turned 4 and she had a DJ booth. She had balloons. She had the upstairs all dark and all the kids had like glow had
Like
these,
when
they
I was
had
a kid,
glow sticks,
when
they
I
had
was a kid, we had like those
rings.
little like Fisher Price like plastic kitchens, like where you can make like your fake like
Yeah.
plastic hamburger stuff. Now kids have DJ booths. All right, cool.
She
All
did. It
right.
was great. We had a blast. We had a blast. I only went up there to watch the presents. I wasn't trying to run up and down the stairs with the tiny humans. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna see if he notices that these things are on.
I mean, eventually, I do like. Listen, I as the adult poster child for ADHD, I often get down my own rabbit holes, and I don't need your help for that. But like,
You're
I
welcome.
mean, you are what my uncle Lou used to call easy on the eyes. So I like to look at you. I'm sure most of the people that watch this are not looking at my stupid face. They're probably looking at you and whatever accessories you have on your head.
Yes, I mean, because you never know what's gonna happen here. I'm trying to give all access. Yes, that was me. Trying to
Just
give
yeah.
all access so that everyone can like, share, comment, do all the good stuff, you guys.
Oh
And
my
as we were
god.
saying earlier, even if you're like, seriously, still give us a seriously star or 4 or 5
You need five.
download.
You need 5 stars.
I would prefer, yes, we would
In
prefer
honor
5.
of the fifth head on Mount Rushmore, which I didn't know existed before this very podcast, it's got to be 5 stars.
Got to be
It's got to
5
be five.
because what in the blue blazes? I don't know. One moment, please. We're finishing our setup on Ashley. Then maybe
What did you do?
I don't know what I did. Oh,
That's why we can't have nice things, people. Like we
we
try,
can't.
like
We
we
can't.
do.
We tried anyway. Bam. Hello, Mr. Simmons. Good evening, and good evening, Alpha Russ. Thank you for joining. We're gonna get started now. We're done playing
Started with
around.
what? What are we?
Girl
Here's the
power.
messed up thing. You guys don't know this, but like we've been having this exact conversation for the past like half hour before. Like, well, like, why are they so late this week? Because I forget that like we can hit the record button and that could be the content that we've been desperately craving. Well,
And the
you've
fact
been
that I
desperately
live
craving.
3 hours away, time zone wise, he doesn't know what time it is. I just get random messages. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. I'm rolling back
If
over.
if it makes you feel any better, I don't know. Time's not real. As a wise poet of my generation once said, I don't believe in time. Time, why you punish me.
Of your
That's I'm a hoodie guy.
generation would also be my generation, but
Well, listen, I just assumed people would think you were my like younger, like more like sophisticated like friend that
we're
took
gonna
pity
keep it
on like
that way.
yeah, just like you could
No one
explain the
will
podcast
ever
like
know.
I took pity on this old timer and I was like, look, come here, Grandpa. I'll teach you how to do podcasts and turn on your microphone and stuff like that. Like none of that,
I mean,
literally.
So it's all about the girl power.
Always Ashley's, by the way. My friend is like, do you want to talk about this job? I'm like, you messaged me on one of the places you can see that I'm actually live right now. So rule number
Let's talk.
yeah, but
Let's talk, but not now.
yeah, no, I mean it's who knows. Alpha Russ. Hey, there you are.
You're
So
late.
I we talked about this. I'm trying to like whatever. I don't have I have a whole nest of people that are here to fix me. Herb Simmons is the Hall of Famer. Herb Simmons, by the way. Like we talked about her before, like and
Indeed,
we're
we were.
Ashley and I were just talking about our WrestleMania plans for Vegas in a couple of weeks. But if you need even more wrestling when you're done with Vegas, you should go to St. Louis. St. Louis. And
Oh,
my friend Herb has a great fan fest out there March 8th and 9th. Look at me just shamelessly plugging.
March 8th and 9th, or April 8th and 9th, or June 8th and 9th, or
March,
May.
May. What did I say? What did I
May.
say?
You said
March?
March, and I'm like, that was like last
May.
week.
Son of a bitch. They start with M at least.
Yeah, you're
May.
close.
I love that. I was
You're
like, I was so like, I was so with it. Like when I mid promo, like, hey, let me cut a promo. I want to put over Herb. Like, hey, if you're tired of WrestleMania stuff in a few weeks, go back in time to March and go to. Sorry.
Friends,
You fucked
that's
up.
the
You
word
fucked up.
May.
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Which is also a lovely weekend. That is Mother's Day weekend, as well as the
It's
weekend before my birthday. So
it is. It's well. I guess it's gonna be May.
it's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May.
Oh, and by the way, happy spring. Today is the first day of spring. That's probably the other reason why we're both like not
It
with it.
snowed. It snowed in Pittsburgh yesterday. Literally, it snowed in Pittsburgh.
That's
So
what I hear. It keeps doing those things over there. Meanwhile, over here, it's like 96.
I
I'm like,
live.
it's the beginning of March. It should not be
No,
96.
well, no, in
right
Vegas, literally, you guys are already like 100 degrees, which I guess is like almost record highs for like
now.
March
Yes.
in
It is
Vegas.
not
So like
okay to be this
I
warm.
can't wait for a lot of if I'm going to try to diplomatically. If you think of your typical wrestling fan, you think about them walking around in 100-degree weather between different shows in Las Vegas in a desert. They're probably, I'm going to say this as non-heelish as I can. Maybe Ashley can do better. She's
Oh,
got
dear Lord.
great skincare and beauty products and probably some deodorant that we're going to talk about for a lot of guys. They're
That's the
going to
one thing
smell,
I do not have is deodorant, but please deodorize,
a lot
friends.
of guys going to
Deodorize.
smell like bacon and
Onions.
whatever. And
Onions.
onions and like
I have an onion
ketchup. What
story,
is
and I
that?
hate the onion story, but yeah. Onions.
Like, it's like just walking around smelling like White Castle. Get it together.
It was past White Castle. Oh, it was so bad.
It is.
So
It is
bad.
by God Friday night. We are here. I got roused out of a nice deep slumber to record this. That's a shoot, brother.
Thank you.
Again, time's not real. No, it's okay. Like it's
No,
my fault
because I said what time, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm about to pass out," as I'm leaning up against my wall, like
that was little power napski, and we're right back where we need to be. That's all right.
like I said, as Mom always says, just rest your body.
Listen, my body is too rested right now. I gotta start doing some cardio. I gotta start running some ropes. I'm gonna pass out in Vegas. It's you try to explain like wrestling cardio versus like normal cardio, and there's no way to train wrestling cardio unless you are in a wrestling ring. And I know that sounds crazy for people that are doing,
Does it though?
all
Does
the
it sound crazy? Does it sound crazy?
well, to try to explain to people, and we were talking about this inadvertently last week. By the way, thank you guys for understanding the slight delay on a lot of the content from last week's podcast.
No
We
worries.
were visited by a friend of mine, and I was trying to get that content to where it wasn't going to get me arrested or
and
fired,
such.
which takes time
And such.
and such and stuff and junk.
Yeah.
But no, I mean but we were talking about like how wrestling used to be. The whole point of wrestling is it looks like you're getting killed. You're not actually getting killed. And now we've kind of evolved to a point where you're seeing a lot more injuries and things like that, because you're seeing moves that are less safe than they used to be. And, the conditioning is different than it used to be, and those kind of things, which are all valid points. And that's a debate that we can have about the evolution of professional wrestling as a whole. It's a great debate, actually. Like it's one of those conversations where me, as sort of the gimmick, being the last of the old school, has friends that are from the previous generation of professional wrestling who watch the current product, and hate it, shit on it. I mean, that's a shout out to my friend Jim Cornette, but like there's a whole market for that. A whole bunch of like guys that, a bunch of guys in their 40s that are yelling about how their music is better than today. Like I'm one of those guys. Like, oh, the '90s were the best music ever, and this shit now that they're playing is not. It's not even music anymore. They're just,
We're the same
And
people who said we would never be like that, and here we are
my dad was the same.
doing that.
This is
We're like, we're
Zeppelin
never
and
gonna
these,
do those kinds of things, but hey, it happens.
Well, it's like it was a sad day
Ashley
when I had the
drinks from her
revelation.
new kid's cup.
Jesus, it really is a new kid's cup. So I don't think. I mean, they're the original boy band, I think, right? Like,
No, they are not.
If you don't count the Jackson 5, which
And you get no. Here's the thing: you have to go all the way back, and most people do start the Jackson 5. But if you ask New Kids on the Block, they're gonna say my all-time favorite group that should be going into the Hall of Fame this year if all the votes come through. New Edition, because New Edition was the bridge between what happened with the Jackson 5 and the Temptations. Then New Edition came, New Kids on the Block, all the way to where we are now.
I hate that. I love that we're talking about like late 80s, like boy band stuff, like where.
Hello, welcome to wrestling. And yes, sometimes we as fans, we do hate everything. And yeah, we're, as they say now on Kit Wilson says, we're a bit toxic.
It's one of those things where last week we got some feedback. Thank you. Where, but that's the kind of thing. It's like and welcome to wrestling is absolutely right. And by the way, we are live. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or wherever you're finding us, shout us out. Please share this live right now on a late night Friday night. Share it with your people. Comment. We can see that right here as we are interacting with you guys. But it's one of the things that we've dealt with for a long time. Like even in the business, like in Pittsburgh, we used to have something called the Indie Message Board, where this is like 25, 30 years ago, like when I was just breaking into the business, where it was almost like an anonymous message board where like people, and it was mostly wrestlers anonymously. I mean,
you had it right. Anonymously. There you go.
Talking shit on other wrestlers. You know what I mean? It's mostly, I mean, and you had fans kind of like watching that, and it was just this negative like space, which
we call that X now.
I was gonna say it's mostly like social media as a whole now. Like, so thankfully we've evolved past where you had to go on like a GeoCities,
oh gosh,
website. Ask your parents, kids.
Right,
random. But wrestling has always been that. But I think one of the reasons wrestling is so popular, well, especially now that you have such a kind of contrarian society as a whole, especially here in America, everybody just wants to fight with everybody else all the time. Like, your opinion is wrong completely, and facts are not real facts, and whatever that is. Like, you can have an entire podcast dedicated to the sky is green, not blue, and you'd be, like I was having this conversation, speaking back to the feedback that we had last week, where, we're in an era where that controversy, like that sort of conflict, is what creates clicks. And unfortunately, we are in a society right now where clicks equal cash. I'm gonna see how many more C words I have for this that I can say without getting bleeped.
Cash, controversy, cash spelled C-A-C-H-E.
And you C words have to realize
that's collective.
Part of the gimmick. Yeah, collective. You collective C words
No, just you
bunch of C
collective.
words.
Oh, so to answer
Bobby and
your
Johnny were there.
question,
Well,
you
no,
have to
Bob,
have them both at this point because okay, here's the deal. This is an awesome question for me. When I saw New Edition in concert, they were my first concert. It was right after Bobby left. So, okay. Now,
well, listen, it was his
when I was
prerogative
in
to go.
4th grade, Johnny Gill came in. But as I got older and they all started coming together, now I can't not have them not all there. It's hard to explain. But
It's not.
fun fact, fun story. One day we're at the MGM when I first moved out here and we're just chilling and my cousin's on the tables and he's like, I'm gonna go sit at this table because this guy just waved me over. He wants me to come play at his table. All right, cool. Not paying attention. I walk over and I'm just standing there, not paying attention. My mom taps me on the shoulder and she goes, do you see who's at the table? Johnny Gill. Johnny Gill was at the table with my cousin. He sang at the table. It was awesome. I had
Hack.
a cool fangirl experience. Yeah. But again, you have to have, to me, it makes it just so much well-rounded with all 6 voices. I do love the original 5. They'll
Didn't Ralph
always have a special
didn't
place in my
President
heart because that was
die?
one of
Are they
my
all still
first
alive?
albums. But yeah,
Are they all still alive?
they're all here. They're all with us.
Who did I think? I thought
And
Ralph President
and
died.
it's no, and I'm still mad because second year in a row that I did not get to see all 6 of them here in Vegas, but one day.
Yeah. It's one of my
Yes,
favorite
they
shows.
still tour.
Ashley, you got to black me up on this. Like, so Belle Biv DeVoe, like for me, like was
Oh
one
yeah.
of
That was
like,
whew, that
listen,
was great to yeah, that was a
you
great
can
a great pause period between the group. There's so
no,
much
because
like we could have like a whole
because
talk about
I
this, but
walked
we
right
have
out of
other
that.
things we're supposed to be talking
I
about.
walked right out of that right into another bad creation. All right. So
Oh yeah.
don't test me on my 90s
6th
R&B.
grade, another bad
Don't
creation.
don't you
And crisscross. I mean, this, yeah,
will in fact make you jump.
yes. And
There
one of them
were
is no longer with us.
well, I would imagine Chris. Actually, it
Yes.
wasn't. It was well, they were not
They
the
were both
actual Christopher Cross. There's
yeah.
some 7-year-old
But
white guy
Christopher
going,
Cross,
Christopher Cross?
there we go.
Not
Sailing.
not that Christopher Cross. Wore his pants backwards and whatever. No. I remember like kids in school, literally like there was a time where they legit went to school wearing their
Pants
jeans
backward
backwards.
or pants inside out, depending on where you landed. Were you pro crisscross or were you pro another bad creation? Because another bad creation, their pants
They
were
were inside out,
inside
yeah.
out. Whereas crisscross, their clothes were
I think it
backwards.
was I mean it's mostly white kids, so it was mostly crisscross because that's
Yeah.
what they didn't get deep into like ABC.
I went to private school. I understand.
They don't understand the East Coast family.
No, they don't.
Never missed a beat.
Yes. Yes. Starter jersey backwards.
So I listen, I know we're way down a rabbit hole, but I need to know like I was an Orlando Magic starter jacket. Were you a Charlotte Hornets starter jacket? Because you can only have one.
I
And
did not have the starter jacket.
What?
I did not
Did
have
your parents? Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
my parents were like, you
I think
no.
they could put
I
you in
had the
foster
90210 leather coat.
homes. You just Dylan Walsh me in the middle of my show. Like, what are you?
I did. I Dylan
Shout out
McCain
to
Brandon Walsh you.
the new national champion in AEW, Jack Walsh, Jungle Boy Jack Walsh.
Little boy. Jack Perry. Yes, crisscross and ABC, both from Atlanta.
That's Raiders. No.
The Raiders
Oh God.
thing,
Oh no.
the Raiders thing was because everyone loved Ice Cube, and I did want a Raiders hat. Not
That
gonna
was
lie, I did want
that was
one. Even though
Easy E too. That was NWA
yeah,
stuff. Like
Easy and
Easy wore the Raiders.
Ice Cube. Yeah,
I didn't even have to use my AK. I gotta say,
today
it was
was a good day.
It was a good day. No, I mean white kids didn't wear Raider stuff like that. I mean, like it was literally it was Charlotte
In
Hornets.
your
Orlando
town,
Magic.
no.
And I'm East Coast. I mean, if you're,
I'm from Michigan. You saw a little bit of everything.
well, I was gonna say like repping Compton or anything like that. You're from.
Oh, no idea.
I mean,
See?
see,
Yeah,
sorry,
see what wrestling? Welcome to
sorry,
wrestling.
welcome to wrestling. I don't see color, but if you identify, as,
You know, I already had this conversation with you. You are supposed to see color. Color exists for a reason. See, now we're going all
mostly for
kinds
me
of
to make fun of your
tangents.
starter jersey.
Now we're going through all kinds of. But I did have
I
the
got mine
Fila.
late because we
I
didn't
had
have
the
money either.
Fila in the cross colors.
See, I'm pretty sure I had a pair of British Knights.
I did. I have
BKs.
British Knights too.
I had some
I had
BKs
the
back in the
Patrick
day.
Ewings. I had those.
Oh, Patrick Ewings.
3rd grade, I wore a women's 8 or 9, so it was easy for me just to get the boys' shoes and call it a day. I had some LA Gears. God, I miss LA
I had
Gear.
kind of LA Gear.
Oh, they need to bring those back. Bring back LA Gear and Lisa Frank all the way, doggone it. Yeah, we are definitely showing our age.
Listen, there's one like 45-year-old dude like in like Texas, like, oh my god, I can't believe they're talking about this. I had that too. So we want to make this podcast as real, just real.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna our
And one
demographic
day we'll get on topic.
no, our whole demographic now is a guy named Dave in somewhere in Minnesota. It was like, oh my god, you know,
Yeah.
this is for you, Dave. It's all the things like.
Thank you, Dave.
That was my first concert too. Like, I know,
Yes.
Dave. It's fine.
LA Gear was the best because you had 2 different shoelaces. Oh, and remember Hypercolor? Oh, Hypercolor clothes. Now, mind you, I wore a uniform from 2nd grade to 8th grade. So then when we went to high school, we still had a dress code, so we couldn't wear certain things. So I looked forward to the weekends where I could wear my skids and my Hypercolor and all my neon clothes. And those LA Gears was basically like your way of like showing up because you know you had to wear your uniform, but you could have those LA Gears on your feet.
So, 2 things. First of all, as a young man who got taken out of class for wearing a Big Johnson t-shirt in elementary school, I get it. This is why dress codes exist, parents.
Mhm.
All right.
I remember one to wear my Maggie Simpson shirt, and then they were like, "Well, make wise decisions because you bought 2 shirts with you, and do you think that shirt's going to be good because it says suck, suck, suck?"
I had to put a piece of tape over my "I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you?" I had to put a piece of tape over the word hell on my t-shirt. This is OG Simpsons, people.
Do
We
the
are
Bartman.
side to side. Here's a dance step that you can't deny. Do I know the dance? Do I know the dance to the Bartman? Do I know the dance 30 years later? Yeah. Ask me. Ask me if I know the dance to the Bartman.
Wait, what?
do you
You had
think
the
I am?
Shaq pumps? Hold on.
I
Wrestling
did have the
Bestie
Shaq
had the
pumps.
Shaq
I
pumps?
told you, Orlando Magic jersey. I had the whole
Shut
gimmick.
up.
I did. The OG pumps. That was the
I remember I wanted some pumps. I
Listen,
got
my
told,
dad-
"Are you
my
really?"
dad had the OG Air Jordans, like the 84. Like, if he didn't have small feet, I'd have stolen them. But I outgrew his feet when I was 13. But like the OG Air Jordans. Like,
You are getting dared to do the Bartman right now.
I am not. Who did? You think that's gonna get our views up? Like, listen, we're excited. There's you talking. You're here. Nobody else I don't think we shared this in the nest.
We did not.
Because, well, that explains that. But
That's
the
not
ace
good.
over there has
It
as
doesn't
I
say
pour-
that over here.
What, the ace?
It doesn't
I
say
took it
that.
down because we do
We do stuff.
so what I learned, don't be scared to be great. That's true. welcome to wrestling. What's your actual name? I feel bad calling you by your shoot name over there on the YouTube.
And who are
Thank you for
you,
tuning in, by the way.
wrestling bestie? What is your name, wrestling bestie?
And we're
I
live,
like to
guys. So
know.
if you
And
guys
we're
want to
live,
interact,
so we
this
just
is
want to
like
say hi, hello with your name because
clearly we're a half hour into the show and haven't started the show. So I mean, that's pretty
but we're
much
about to.
that's
This
pretty
kind of
much the
reminds
show.
me of another pod that I listen to. They talk about things and Evan, I love that name.
Evan,
Hello, Evan. Beautiful
one
name.
of my I mean, when AJ and Air Paris went to WCW for a minute, Uncle Allen, I'm sorry, we still I don't want to put some respect on his name. I
Very
think they wrestled 3 count, which I'm pretty sure Evan Courageous was one of those guys.
Oh, a recount. Take me back, man. Take me back.
I get hit in the head with chairs a lot. So I forget timelines, but like
3
we were
count.
talking about this, like whatever. Like, so when I was down, it was NWA TNA when it first started, and AJ was teaming with Air Paris, and one of my favorite matches I've ever seen live in my life. It was I was on the loop with those guys, and they were wrestling Joey Matthews, aka Joey Mercury, and
Mhm.
Christian York, and Joey and Christian were in EC Dub, and were I want to say I might be making this up. Somebody fact check me in the chat. Was that Future Shock? Was that what the tag team name was when it was Joey and Christian, whatever like that?
Fun fact, this actually came on Pluto the other night and I passed out, but like I try to now watch as much Pluto as possible so I can be like, dude, you're on TV, like out of nowhere, and then I pass out a lot.
I also get those random things like like every few like weeks I get like, hey, I think I saw you on like some weird like not HD video of you getting chokeslammed by Abyss. I'm like, well, yeah, but
Or I'm like,
Prince
is that
Justice,
Spiffy behind the camera?
Prince Justice, as I used to know that beautiful, beautiful man.
Bestie, wait, is that really you? And I'm like, hold on, shut up.
The
Bestie.
Wrestling Bestie is a great tag, by the way, and thank you.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to push buttons. I don't know what I'm doing.
See, this is why, you know, I tried for a while to try to find somebody that wanted to help like produce the show, because as you probably know, a half hour into this thing, I'm pretty much the adult poster child for ADHD. But that's kind of the show. But it's also great. And I don't want to put all this pressure on Ashley, on the Ace. It's a lot. Listen,
the unicorn, but the Ace has
hey,
been here a few times.
I'm a lot. Okay. I feel like I'm in like a Taylor Swift video now. Like it's a lot going on at the moment. Like
he is a lot. That's why the Ace came out today. So yeah. The Ace tries to keep him in line because the Ace is a little bit psycho.
Good luck.
Yeah.
What was his name? Evan. Evan, you have a show? What do you do?
Tell us about your show, Evan.
No, we're going to pause the entire show because
I invested. Tell us the name of your show.
Listen, I'm only half kidding, because like as a performer, as somebody who like craves like that sort of like back and forth, like, oh my God, one person is paying attention to me. Please talk to me more about what is happening for you. And that's,
that's just who we are. But now we're getting into it. Are you ready to get into it?
I don't know what it is, but
welcome to Wrestling 65 episodes in. Right on.
Oh my gosh, this is like that's our first time doing this. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna push a button. Maybe.
Oh, please don't. You're gonna get us kicked
No,
off
not on there. Hold on. Well,
like I was gonna say, I don't think I gave you button access, and there's a reason for that.
You don't know. You don't know. Not that.
Why we're in Japan.
I am now subscribed.
Just like that. See?
I did that.
It's building your brand, Evan. You're a marketing genius. Do you have a master's degree in digital marketing? You should.
Yes, I do.
Talking to Evan. Evan? I bet he does.
My bestie okay, so Bestie's real name is Matt, but he's going by Bestie today because he's my bestie.
Maddie.
My bestie's here.
Maddie. Look at me
So
with production.
we do
components.
Bestie Mania. So that'll
Bestie
be
Mania.
that's what we
What is
called it last
Bestie
year.
Mania?
And this is Bestie Mania Part 2. Because the second part.
What are you doing over there? Like I'm hearing like
What are you hearing?
scratching.
Oh yeah, I scratched my thingy. But yeah. No, we did Bestie Mania last year and we're doing Bestie Mania this year. And the one year we were supposed to do Bestie Mania, we didn't get to do Bestie Mania.
No, listen. I mean,
but
Gallows
this goes
rents out his backyard. You can do whatever manias you want to do in a secluded Atlanta suburb if you want to drive out there.
No, this is just us
Beautiful property.
enjoying a lot of wrestling. And this leads into what we're going to talk about, but not this week, next week. But I'm just going to give you a little snippet.
Are we doing a deep dive? No deep dive?
No, we're doing a snippet. We don't
Oh.
deep dive. What are you doing? We don't have time for that.
We call it a teaser in the industry, kid. Let's you're gonna give
Get
a
a
little
tease, if you will.
little tease, little teasky. All right, give me a
So
little tease.
I was as sick as a dog during the Los Angeles Mania. And Bestie,
When was that?
a couple years ago, Bestie and our friend Nicole, they went, and my bestie made sure that I got to do a little messaging FaceTime with a few people, including someone who is you may be familiar with, Ross from TNA, my buddy Ross, but also Ms. Nia Jax herself, who was at that time going by her real name. I got to talk to her via Facebook Messenger. And then I cried for like an hour because number one, I was sick, and number two, that like made my day. So
fucking Mark.
We'll be getting into there later.
Fucking Mark. We were talking about this actually before. No, not really. Like we were talking about this like when I started wrestling, it was the late 90s. And it was still sort of a little taboo to like, hey, 80s wrestling legend, let me get a picture with you, like whatever. Like the prevailing kind of rule was like, if you're in the locker room with these guys, you're not supposed to be like, hey, can I get a picture? Now that we're at a point where some of our friends are not with us anymore, in kind of hindsight and retrospect, we go, man, I wish I had more pictures when I was with those guys. So now, thankfully, like as a guy that's been kind of loosely, affiliated in the wrestling business for 25 years, like I'm excited to see that now, especially as we're coming up on WrestleMania and those kind of things. Take the pictures, guys. That's a Scott Hall thing, where take the picture. Like,
not gonna lie, that is one of my biggest regrets is I didn't get a picture with Scott Hall, but I did talk to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
yeah, I
at
mean,
least I did get that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's it's one of the reasons why. I mean, especially now in the era of like everything is on film. You know what I mean? Like there's not even like even in the locker room, there's a very little expectation of like privacy and kayfabe and that kind of stuff. But like, do it for yourself. I mean, like if you, especially like coming in the WrestleMania, there's indie guys that are going to be there. You're going to get a chance to network with people that you see on TV all the time. And that's awesome. And they're just people too. You know what I mean? Especially when they're not on, when the lights aren't on, when bright lights, Carl Anderson isn't doing bright lights. Carl Anderson, he's just
a regular old guy. I mean,
he's a great guy with a smoking hot Asian wife and beautiful kids and whatever. And
shout out to the wife and the sister. I met both of them. They are gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. But like, like
and kind enough to like, this is their time with their family and allow you to have that time. So shout out.
Yeah, don't go interrupt them cutting up their kids like dinner and stuff like that. But like, if you're in Vegas for the next couple of weeks, if you're out there and you see, one of those guys,
Yeah.
you can't go up and say hi. Like seriously.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have gotten smart enough to that earlier in my career, but I was hanging out with Samoans and they don't talk to anybody, so I wear sandals to this day because they don't wear shoes. And I got like in the snow, like I'm wearing flip-flops and people are like, what is wrong?
When your toes fall off, don't be calling me. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, see, that's what happens. Just put on some socks.
Diabetes.
We're gonna have an old lady.
Wait, who'd you meet last week?
He met the boys.
Oh, the boys are good.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boys.
They are so funny when they're not on. They're funny when they're on. They're funny when they're not on.
Drew's funny no matter in any context. You talk about guys that are like good to have, like, just around, like, like I'm one of those people where I don't like to just be. I'm a silver linings kind of guy. Like I'll find a way to be generally happy if you let me. Like I'll talk myself into it if I have to. And Drew is one of those guys that's always been that guy. So
good dude.
Shout out to the boys.
Good dude.
So we're supposed to be.
We need to get started.
About, I love that it looks like. Well, now that we're 40 minutes into this gimmick, I guess we can.
Let's talk about it.
So March is Women's History Month, and last week, before we had a great cameo from my friend, the hustler, Rip Rogers. Thank you for all of that feedback, by the way, guys. Rip is, I love the guy, obviously. Very hard to edit around as an old school brother. Turns out we sometimes say very much things that aren't supposed to be said in 2026, the year of our Lord. But we started talking about women's wrestling, and that was where the hustler came in here, and we were talking about the great pioneers of women's wrestling. It was the 80s and 90s when women's wrestling stopped being a sideshow and started being presented not as equals to men yet. And I wasn't the booker. Don't be mad at me. But back then, women were an attraction, kind of a sideshow and whatever like that. So as we got into the rock and wrestling era, and then we graduated into the attitude era, you started seeing women presented better. But
we also kind of fell back.
Well, but also kind of, yeah, exactly. We're talking about bra and panties matches and, handprint tattoos on your tits and bikini contests and gravy wrestling and, what women's wrestling was as we kind of moved in to the attitude era. But because women's wrestling has evolved so much and because women are so important to the evolution of professional wrestling as a whole, we wanted to make sure that we took enough time to really give them their flowers. And women love flowers. Boys, they do. Trust me. Give them for no reason, by the way. Give them flowers. That's the best flowers. Is where there's the what did you do wrong moment of you giving a girl flowers where her first reaction is you screwed up something. No, you're just awesome. Here are some flowers. And then anyway, back me up on that. That's boys. Come on. Girls, come on.
I like diamonds.
It's fucking see, this is why we can't have nice things. I'm like, here's some flowers for no reason, and then girls are like, where's my diamond? Like, that's why.
I'm more easy to get over. Give me some wrestling tickets, some concerts,
diamonds,
some
and
concerts,
or comp
diamonds,
$10 wrestling
chocolate.
Ticket. It could be anything.
Yes.
But no, but the Attitude Era itself being so instrumental in women's wrestling, we wanted to make sure that we acknowledged that because that was the first kind of women's evolution, where certainly not portrayed as equals to the boys or whatever, but they were at least at that point starting to be highlighted or showcased on wrestling television and stuff like that. And before that, you had the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and you had the occasional even the era of like from Wendy Richter through Medusa, like the actual women's wrestling champions that you had in the 80s and 90s. They weren't really on TV that much. So seeing women kind of presented on television in a professional wrestling show was different. And this is, listen, this is Nitro Girls and whatever stuff. Shout out to Fire, who I wanted to marry when I was a kid, or Whisper, who another Shawn Michael married, but that's okay.
Uh-huh. The girls in the
I'm excited.
cages, I'm still trying to work that in my head. Why there were girls in the cages on TNA and WA? I'm trying to work it out.
I mean, I could tell you
I'm
really. I
I
could tell you
thank you, Bischoff. Is maybe what
that.
guys would say, or whoever was in charge at that
I was
point.
gonna say I
Thank
don't
you,
think
or
that was
what?
even Eric.
My question is what? But okay, I'm just gonna let it go. Girls had jobs, girl power. That's all I care about.
But what started happening is and I'll lead into it with what I would consider to be the two women that I'm sure they were definitely on last week's Mountain, and
Indeed.
they need mentioned again, and that's Trish and Lita, who
Yes.
became the first women that were put on television and given the opportunity to wrestle and wrestle with the sort of credibility that did
Mhm.
not exist on television
Mhm.
before Trish and Lita went out there and said, "Yeah, we're not doing a bra and panties match. We're going to go out there and here's a top rope Frankensteiner, suck my dick."
Swanton bomb
Metaphorical dick, obviously, but like,
stuff.
yeah, stuff. And
Now,
and that was
I
where it
like
started.
those.
But like,
I
but
do like that. Yeah.
they crowbarred themselves in. They made themselves almost like, we talk about undeniable. They put themselves in a position where they were so good at what they did. And obviously beautiful women, and obviously like they're out there, and they still had some of the divas slash
Mhm.
bra and panties sort of presentation. But if they weren't able to go out there, and even if they were only given 4 minutes or 5 minutes, which is all women used to be given in a 3-hour wrestling show, to go out there and showcase themselves, and they took those. We talk about maximizing your minutes. That's something
Mhm.
JR would always talk about. If you're only going to be on TV for a 60-second segment, maximize your minutes. Get your shit in, kid. And Trish and Lita did that, and they did it sort of almost like despite how they were trying to be booked at that time. They went out there and they beat each other's asses, really.
Mhm.
And it became like, oh, these girls aren't, you know, they're not just out there
You're
posing.
the
They're
real
out
deal.
there, they're doing the thing. Yeah.
You're the
So
real
that
deal.
was, but they ushered in this entire new uh era.
Now,
And this is
I
the
do agree with that, but you kind of skipped a lady that's very important to ushering in
I would never.
the Great China because she was technically before them. Technically before them. Now, there are some other women that we're going to throw in here because this is technically, so just so you guys know this, it's hard to put this, make a mountain out of this. But there's a lot of, because there's a lot of women who did so many great things that they all deserve a shout out. And China is one of them. She, gosh, she wrestled the women, she wrestled the men, She showed that muscles are sexy.
See that?
You didn't have to look like a Trish. You didn't have to even look like Alita, who was kind of more tomboy, but still, she had the thong out or whatever, and the big tattoo, but it was still, she was China. Like when she came out, you knew this is China. Everyone's going to stop. They're going to look and they're going to enjoy it. And she wasn't just the enforcer. She turned into, the S.A. Rio. I thought I was the only one who remembered the whole S.A. Rios thing. This is why we're besties, bestie.
That was Lita,
But,
right?
yeah, Lita and S.A.
Yeah.
Rios. But China
Papi Chulo
was the enforcer. Then she turned into the heavy wrestler, to Mamacita, to Sexual's chocolate. It was she did all of that and still went out there and kicked your ass. And because of her, then we started seeing the Awesome Khans and the Beth Phoenixes come in, because it wasn't the cookie cutter look. It was the muscles are sexy look. Big girls are sexy look. So right on, and rest in peace, China.
China is, I mean, the ninth wonder of the world, but also was very much an anomaly, because if you want to talk about like skipping ahead, women weren't regarded as wrestlers until that point. And then you go from that to women are beating the shit out of men. There's nothing remotely like that was on television or was any sort of presentation. Even in ECW, you would have, Franny and Beulah and the valets would occasionally like eat a pile driver, or the guys would beat up the girls, which, again, different time, guys. I'm not advocating for that. That was on television
way back
30 years ago. Way back when.
And shout out to Francine and Beulah and all of the ladies of ECW, because again, they brought a whole nother flavor to wrestling.
Nothing like the night Kimono wanna lay a dance atop the ECW arena.
How do you really feel?
I can tell you how 11-year-old me felt when, no, it's fine. But again, to your point, women were being presented differently, and it was the first time that women were A, showcased, and B, you went from the Trish and Litas that were out there working their asses off to somebody like China, who was beating up guys.
Yes.
And by the way, and you might be able to speak about this, the guys did not want that to be a thing. There was substantial pushback on the way China was booked and the way China was presented. And I'm not putting that shit over sort of like the boys were. That had never happened before. There'd never been a situation where like you had a woman being presented as an equal, and not even just an equal, as a I'm going to beat you sort of presentation in wrestling ever. That's never happened before.
And again, look at the break from that. It took Beth Phoenix to come and then do it again, and then Nia Jax to do that again. It's been so spread out to in that particular company for them to do that. I do apologize if you can hear any extra noise in the background.
No, it's okay. Yeah, okay. Your studio is. You're not at the palatial WWE studio doing voiceover work like I am. But I mean,
I'm not at the estate. But
but here's the thing. No, to your point, and it's an amazing point. Is women, they will occasionally, like even through generations, have this like the attraction, the anomaly. Yeah. China was an anomaly.
China
like Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon was an anomaly. Yes. So in that one, in the WWE, the Fed, as the boys call it, like there was that presentation of women. However, they're at that same time in places like Japan or even some indies, you already started to see very credible very good intergender matches that were happening between men and women.
Mhm.
One of the most famous clips you could find online is from the early 2010s, where Kenny Omega, who is widely regarded as one of the best in-ring workers of all time, was wrestling like a 9-year-old girl in Japan, and it's a 5-star match. Sorry, Meltzer. I don't know if I'm allowed to, like, whatever. Please don't sue us. We don't have that much money yet. But like, it was a 5-star match. It was incredible to watch that presentation of a 9-year-old girl wrestling,
Mhm.
but it
Yeah.
but it showed that what wrestling was, and as wrestling was kind of evolving into that presentation. Now, I understand, Jim Cornette and Rip Rogers and the old school guys hated that, because I remember when Will Ospreay wrestled Ricochet over in Japan, and it became a thing where a lot of the old school guys were just
Too
hot.
flippy.
They were, yeah,
It was
they were
too flippy
hot
for
about the
them.
match.
It
And
was not their thing.
the match itself was art. It was literal ballet. Like, what they did, what they were able to present was something that had never happened in wrestling before. And now you have an entire company in like AEW that
Mhm.
probably could be argued was based on that style of match that they wrestled
Right.
well before their time.
Right.
Well before their time, they had that match. Now, it certainly upset people that came before them for a couple of reasons. A, I can't do that shit. B, you're killing the business, because wrestling was presented a little bit differently,
Mhm.
even in Japan, where it was very strong style. It was not,
Mhm.
whatever. It's not bra and panties matches. So when
Ladies
Trish
and
and
gentlemen,
Lita
times are a-changing.
were beating each other up legit, when they were laying it in, as we would say, when China was choked, when she was beating up guys, it gave a different level of credibility to women in the wrestling business that had not previously existed. And
Mhm.
that's the evolution versus revolution that we
Right.
talk about with
And now
women,
look at,
but
like,
also the evolution of professional wrestling as a
look at
whole,
the
because
body
that was
women now. Look at the body women now. Jordan Grace, she's a body woman, you know? Bianca Belair, she is technically a body woman. Jade Cargill, she takes care of her body. She's body woman
Jade
light.
was.
But look at the evolution of how they take care of themselves and they lift weights and still they
Listen,
are
shout out to Jordan. If you look at Jordan Grace from 8
yeah,
years ago,
right.
she did not
But the
look like
first
that.
time I saw Jordan Grace
She did not look like
versus
that.
yeah, it was a whole totally different person. I remember going to a match and seeing Jordan. She was in what was it? Bessie, if you recall, let me know. It was I think it was Jordan Grace and Matt Cardona. It could have been, but it was it. And again, it was, and she at that time was with Rachel Ellering and totally different Jordan body type. And then
Different Rachel body type.
she got into different health and fitness, and now we've got Jordan, you know. But I know
The
we're
Juggernaut,
going
right? Is
to
that the
the
Juggernaut?
juggernaut. I know we're going too far into next week's, but just again, it was
Low in the spots, kid. We're
again
trying to, like, this is why.
again
This
it's
is why, like,
China.
I rarely like, kind of like, hey, we were gonna do like the 2000s through like modern wrestling.
He said
Ladies, I said, hey, we should probably give girls a little more time. We should probably split this up, because there's so many women that are so impactful in the business right now. I want to make sure that you guys all say
he's a
he's not just a
sensitive
guy with he's not
gentleman.
just a guy with good hair. I know he plays a bad guy, but he seems like a nice guy.
Oh, I got some more for you because we've been very WWE centric with our
Yes.
convo right now, but let's go back over there and talk about Awesome Kong and Gail Kim and ODB and
Well,
what
you're
they
you're
brought
mess
to the table.
if we are still pretending like we're
Good
doing a
lord,
mountain, like, for this week, you're just killing all my spots, kid. Like, what are you doing?
that's why we're not doing a
Remember.
mountain. Because good grief, you can't mountain this. It's a whole country. It's a whole continent.
Oh my gosh. All right.
It is. It's a whole continent. But I mean, those three women that I stated, I was not a
Evan,
beautiful
Velvet
person.
Sky,
Person.
I wanted
Sorry.
to I still do, like, to this
I
day.
was not a
And
beautiful
shout out to
person.
Bubba Ray, but like, all right, give me your first. Let me go. I didn't think we'd be an hour into the pod before we started the pod, but I should know better. You would think me of all people would be like, it's probably going to be the pod. All
Mm,
right, give me your number one. I'm going to try to figure out how to make this on your deal here. Nope,
no,
that's not the
that's all
one.
you. I
No,
don't
that's what I'm
have,
doing.
that's the problem. It's hard to say a number one when you're talking about this particular conversation, because what we decided to do was get back into that late 90s and those early 2000s. It's hard to have a number one because there was so much, as I was saying, flavor, even though it's flavor. Shout out to Tasha Steele. Talk about her next week. But when you're looking at when you're looking at women's wrestling, you have to look at all the alternatives that were there. And before I do that, I want to give a shout out to SoCal Val for that era. SoCal Val, Christy Hemming, they weren't, well, Christy did wrestle a bit, but they weren't they, they were there, they, doing the announcing, valeting. Shout out to them because they were still part of that. I was not a beautiful people person, but I appreciate what the beautiful people bought to TNA. And again, like I said, Gail Kim, Mickey James, Awesome Kong. Like, I tuned in to TNA for them and Samoa Joe and the BDC and Uncle Allen. That's what I tuned in for when I tuned into TNA when I could find it on my TV. Christopher Daniels, I tuned in for that. But when, again, going back to the women of TNA, my gosh. And I met ODB last year and I wanted to do the thing so bad, but I didn't do it.
Do the thing.
But yeah,
You got to do
ODB,
the thing.
Mickey James,
Say the
Gail
line.
Kim, and Awesome Kong. Just, they bought it. It was that they bought that alternative to the bra and panties matches. They were,
Yeah.
even though
They
it
forced it.
sometimes they weren't
They
serious.
forced a lot of that evolution because
Yeah,
people started going,
exactly. Even though they
why are
weren't
we getting 2
serious,
minutes of
they
gravy
were
wrestling
serious.
on one show, 2 minutes of gravy wrestling on one show, and I'm getting Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong with a 20-minute banger on
Oh,
this other show, right?
oh,
Yeah.
so freaking good. So freaking good. So it's definitely, you can't just discuss the Attitude Era and early Divas period and not think about what they were doing over in TNA. And like we said earlier, shout out to the ladies over in ECW doing their thing too. Again, wrestling is flavorful. Wrestling is a tossed salad. It's not a bowl of soup. It's a
Whoa,
tossed
whoa,
salad
whoa.
because you can put in your
Who's
lettuce,
tossing
your
whose
tomato,
salad
your
here? What?
stop it.
Not that what?
Not that kind of salad. I'm talking about a
Oh.
good, you
Oh,
can
it's a good
pick and
salad.
choose good, like a nice sides, and I'm not listening to you. Yeah. But think about it that way. Don't think of it as a melting pot. Think of it as a nice, colorful fruit salad. There. Dang it, that didn't work either.
Who you calling fruit?
Just saying. Just salad. Anywho, it was beautiful back then. It started to become, because the TNA women pushed it. I feel like that also helped. It did. It helped push the evolution and revolution that we are in now. So, oh Lord.
Can't argue with that. What happened? What I
Yes, a
missed?
healthy salad. A healthy salad.
Who
Healthy.
said healthy salad? Oh my god, it's in the chat. This is why.
Evan.
Oh, we can't have nice things. Did you name somebody?
I named a bunch. And yes, before Bessie, your thing goes away. Yes, Luna and Bull. Yes. Like we
Yes.
talked about them last week.
Here's the problem. Like people like Bull, people like, like Natty, like transcend like eras, which is
Yes.
amazing. They're almost in their own like stratosphere,
Mm-hmm.
not Trish stratosphere, but they're almost in the actual
Stratosphere.
stratosphere. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, thank you. See what I did there?
Good job.
Little wordplay for
Very nice. Very nice.
the podcast. Thank you. Um, I'm gonna go and bring up somebody that I loved from the minute I saw her on television, and that
Mm.
is a young lady known as Molly Holly.
Oh yeah.
See,
Oh
you
yeah.
forget
No, you
Molly was
cannot forget Molly
one
freaking
of the first
Holly.
like flat out like
Mm-hmm.
Trish and Lita were Trish and Lita. You know,
But then there was
Molly
Molly.
Holly was the first girl that I saw where I didn't even register that that's a chick. You know what I mean? Like she went out there and just worked, and that was
Molly
new.
Holly
That
the
was
crap out of
brand
it.
new. Like at that time, you have to remember, like the early aughts,
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't something that women were doing on television. There was even in the era of bra and panties and gravy matches, Molly Holly wasn't that girl. Molly
Yep.
Holly was doing
Molly
legitimate,
Holly stuff.
right. So that
Love it.
none of this evolves without Molly Holly because she, to me anyway, Molly was the bridge between
That's
sort
a
of the
good
bra and
one.
panties era and where women eventually started getting presented as, again, still short matches, still whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
like that was the first
Mm-hmm.
time that like coming to the ring is she's gonna beat somebody's ass and she's you know what I mean, and that was it. There
Yeah.
didn't have to be any of the other sort of like she's not pregnant by Val Venus's kid or giving birth to a hand or whatever, like she's out there as a professional wrestler
Mm-hmm.
and a woman, and she may be,
Even
especially,
when she became a
and I hate to be
superhero,
like
she
very
was still
WWE
very
like centric,
Molly.
but that was brand new back then, and
Mm-hmm.
most people were watching WWF television, so that
Mm-hmm.
was the first. She's the pioneer. She, to me, is somebody who quite literally changed the entire
Absolutely.
trajectory of women's wrestling. Molly Holly is my early aughts
I like that.
uh attitude era evolution pick.
And I do see, yes, we did talk about Jazz last week. Basically
Jazz is
how
one of them. She transcends too.
good
Jazz
Lord,
has been around forever.
her and Miss Jackie, they did it all. And Jazz, as I stated last week, she scared the living daylights out of me. And that's, yes. Yeah, see, y'all are bringing, yes, Victoria, absolutely. Whether
You
she's
can't.
Victoria or Tara, you can't have that period without her. Great one, Matt. One that Mr.
I
Rogers
love
brought
that
up last
somehow
week
I'm the
that I
guy going
love.
like, hey, 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 hey,
Hey,
hey, hey, hey.
I was reading the comments.
Why am I the guy keeping the show on?
I don't know, but I was reading the
You need
comments.
a
I will
handler
throw
is
the
what you
shoe.
need. All
I
right.
will throw the shoe.
Don't you, it's chancla. I learned this about
Oh, I
does
got
that work for
chocolates too. I will.
see?
There, everything's right here. Don't make me throw it.
So I'm gonna pretend like Jacqueline is your next pick. Go ahead
No,
then.
she is not.
Oh, well, you're just gonna steal.
I was
If you're gonna steal my
commenting with.
pick, if
I'm
you're gonna steal my
commenting with
pick,
the
own it.
audience. I was commenting with the audience. I was
We
getting
have an
ready to
audience.
say yes.
People
As I
are
was
paying
getting ready
attention
to
to this.
say
God
before
bless you
you
guys.
got all spiffified, what I was going to say is I agree with Mr. Rogers.
More people need to be spiffified. By the
Oh
way, that's a
Lord.
great word.
I
Somebody
agree
write that
with
down.
Mr.
Write
Rogers
that down.
and Serena Deeb because
Oh, you jerk!
she's still going. She's still going.
You
And
are.
even when she shaved her head, I was
She's
like,
better.
yeah. I was like, but you want somebody to capture your attention because she's gonna give you a good hold.
Let me speak about this like the diva that I am.
Please.
Serena Deeb, and again, as you alluded to, the hustler Rip Rogers put her over last week on our show. And by the way, please download those episodes. Leave us a 5-star review if you're looking for the Spiffy Sean Show, is what it's under on your Apple and your Spotify's. And you know, if you see me on Tinder, please swipe right. I don't know where you find people anymore. But Rip Rogers put over Serena Deeb as his favorite student ever. And you know, it came on treating women as equals.
Yeah, we'll leave it at
Treating
that.
women as equals was not something, especially as far as training went, was not something that had happened before that. Serena Deeb was so good that she, you know, again, we talked about this last week when we talked about Sherry Martel, where one of the best compliments you could pay was she's one of the boys. I understand in 2026 that sounds sexist and whatever and chauvinistic, but in the professional wrestling business 30 years ago, there was no greater compliment you could pay to a female performer than to say, she's one of us. We treat her like an equal, because there are literally on one hand, you can count the women that were regarded that way in that time period. Serena Deeb is absolutely one of those people. Serena Deeb loved wrestling so much that she was willing to shave her head on television just to get over the story.
Mhm.
And if you're, listen, I don't want to speak for girls, and you know, I know I got the good hair. I got a little bit of Indian in me, so I got good hair.
Oh, God
But like,
bless. That's getting edited.
that's why we can't be live anymore. Not actual Indian, but like, but Serena like was, again, legitimate, and to this day is one of the best, like, in my opinion, the best technical wrestler women that ever existed. Although Dean Malenko's kid just got signed, and I can't
did.
wait. I can't wait to see her wrestle.
She's gonna have 20,000 holds.
Well, at least 1,005. She would have to, just to have the most holds. I mean, if you,
Yes.
but no, Serena Deeb is who could argue with that? But even Serena back then, she was mostly just a heater for Festus, you know.
Indeed. How we
Shout
get back to the
Festus.
freaking deacon? I don't know, but we did.
Not Dorian, not the Dorian DeVille, like, but she didn't really even wrestle that much back then, you know.
No, she
Which
didn't,
brings
but
me,
it was intimidating.
yeah, I mean, in her
Like
role,
you said, any person who would willingly go and get their head shaved on national TV,
it was transcendent. It was
it,
it
it,
was
it
a
was it was a
new
moment.
thing. It was, see, this is why you have a show. It was a moment. Well said. And we talk about wrestling in terms of that thing. Like last week, we were talking about when Macho Man proposed to Miss Elizabeth.
It was a moment.
When it was with lust in your eyes. And that moment, when you had that era of like, those were moments. Serena Deeb shaving her head with the Straight Edge Society, that was a moment. You know,
Love it.
I will give you mine, and it's going to be Ivory around the same time period. So Ivory, see, Ivory got love last week as well as Tina Ferrari, or Tina, whatever she was, like, because I was putting over my friend Hollywood from the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. But so Tina was one of the, in Glow, was, I don't want to say like an actual wrestler, but she could actually wrestle. And, you know, that at that time made her unique. When she got to the WWF, she was already a 15-year like vet, and she was great. When she became Ivory in the Right to Censor, like she became a great character in addition to having the credibility of being somebody who could actually wrestle, because she could. And that was different. That was the first sort of character heel that had ever been presented. I don't count China, because China wasn't treated like a woman, if that makes sense. It Ivory was the
She
first
was in
like
a gang.
female. Yeah, China was, again, we talk about anomalies, we talk about attractions. China was that. China was Andre the Giant level, eighth wonder of the world, ninth wonder of the world. Even as the WWF presented China, they put her on par with Andre the mother effing Giant. That's how she was presented.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different level. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Ivory gave a certain amount of credibility to women on TV at that time, because she could do the character work. She was the first woman they really let cut promos, which women never talked. If you look back, they would do their quick little, like, I'll show you, like, and they'd take their clothes off, like promos. Ivory was the first woman on television that would cut like actual wrestling heel promos in front of the live audience and have that be, here's a microphone, you've got 2 minutes, go. So that in itself was a different thing. And then she could work, which, that was sort of still new
Yeah.
for women in wrestling in the early 2000s.
Now I have one for you that is a little different, because we don't just look at the wrestler, we look at the entire contribution of who was a part of wrestling.
You changed your own rules last week, by the way. Like,
I know I did.
I didn't call you out on it.
I know, and I said, because I'm the unicorn and I can. And I'm doing it
because
again.
I know better than to be like, oh, that's not what you said to a girl.
No,
Like,
I know what I said.
see?
I am gonna give some love to Lillian Garcia.
What a great, God damn it! I wish I'd have thought of it.
And it's.
I'm mad now. I'm mad at myself today.
She wasn't just an announcer. She was the ring announcer. She sang the anthem. She bought us in one of the worst times in our lives. She was one of the first voices we heard sing it, not just because she sang the national anthem, but because you could feel her soul.
I thought you were talking about me breaking up with my high school girlfriend. It was
No.
the worst time in everybody's life.
Roll that back.
No, it was,
roll that back.
Okay.
Roll that back. Keep it to yourself.
It was great.
But no, Lillian Garcia, and even still, the inspiration she has become for other women to work in the industry. I don't think you could have a lot of the things that she had. And she just recently told the story about how she took over for Howard Finkel and getting that blessing from him, and knowing that she had big shoes to step in, but she made it her own. So shout out to her.
All right. Well, I should use this opportunity to put over my friend who's going to go on the mountain, I think, because she was, again, a different presentation. It's going to be my friend Christy Hem.
Oh, yes.
I was listen, one of the
Did
greatest
I sing her
compliments
while you were out?
I don't know. One of the greatest compliments of my wrestling career, my life in general, was when I was in Christie's top 8 on MySpace for like several. Yeah, guys. Yeah,
you did.
That was a big deal. I was a big deal back in the early aughts.
You were.
Really didn't, but Christy was a sweetheart. A gorgeous girl. Talking about ring announcers and talking about longevity and being like a personality in the wrestling business. This is, again, you have to remember, this is 25 years ago. This is before, the Jackie Redmonds of the world, or even the Renee Paquettes of the world. Like, they weren't hiring like attractive women to do like backstage interviews. It was still Mean Gene and that kind of stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing wrong with Mean Gene, obviously, but like, but this was new. And
Yeah.
Christy being somebody who wasn't a wrestler,
She was from the Diva Search.
she was a Divas Search person. So they try to sort of like, but even the Diva Search in itself,
Look
right?
what you've gotten out the Diva Search.
Yeah, but they weren't looking for Serena Deeb. They weren't
No.
looking for like actual women wrestlers in the Divas Search. They were looking for models that would come out and look hot, and they could have a 3-minute pillow fight segment. You know what I mean? It's hard to it's hard not to like understate like how important this era was for women in the professional wrestling business, because literally it was, we're going to hire you to like put lingerie on and smack another girl with a pillow for a few minutes while people in the live arena go get another beer and people at home, whatever. And that's what it was. It was, filler. It was the popcorn match is what women's wrestling was uh for a while, like for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And and you have like the Lillians and the Christies and those kind of women.
The
Just seeing
SoCal
women
Val.
on television on a weekly basis was something at that point was very new. Like that hadn't happened before. And Lillian and Christy were the first that coming back from the commercial, and you get a good one shot of this gorgeous, Lillian ring announcer or Christy or whatever it is, and that's that becomes the face of what that is. And that had not happened before that. So shout out to the girls that were doing not pillow fights.
Let's talk about the Diva Search real quick, and let's talk about who was in there. Christy, Maria, the Bellas, Maurice. I mean,
like a lot of them would be
a lot of them you didn't actually, you wouldn't have thought, oh, I'm going to see, this girl who does not know a lick of English turn out to become freaking Maurice,
Mike knew like, right away, according to him.
Yeah,
anyway.
He said he knew. We had no idea. Yeah. We were like, oh, okay. No, yeah.
No, I mean, Maurice, you would talk about in terms of like the it factor. Like,
yeah.
And I think like loosely, that's what The Miz would have said kind of in hindsight, is like, you look at some people and you go, oh, there's something there. Even if it's not, even if they can't wrestle or whatever like that, there's something there.
There's something there.
Maurice is one of those people. Obviously, the Bella twins are, again, weirdly transcendent people. And I look at like, and we're kind of getting ahead because we're going to do a whole nother week of this, by the way, guys. We ain't done. We're not even into the
we're trying to hold
the actual Divas evolution and revolution. We're not even there yet.
Trying to hold it. But yeah, like Matt is absolutely right. Like Ashley Massaro, the freaking anti-diva search. Yeah, she was, yes. May she rest in peace.
I loved her.
Who though the other one? Oh my gosh, her name, I don't know why. Not Eve Torres, who also loved, but oh my gosh, somebody
Eve is probably on my mount, because Eve was again in the vein of like Trish, was that sort of like that hybrid, that hot girl that can wrestle. I hate to be like as like a dude about it. Like a hot this chick can work. Like, but Trish and Lita were the first people that Eve kind of followed up on that kind of thing.
Yes. And why is her name not coming to my brain? Because it was Ashley, Eve, and there was, oh my
God. I think you're thinking about Caitlyn.
Yes. Thank you. Good job.
See that, boys? Finger on the pulse. You got to know what they're thinking. You got to know what these chicks are thinking. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, no.
You got to vibe.
I thought you were thinking about Caitlyn, and Caitlyn's a great pick, by the way.
Yes, like those three together. It was. I was in love with Caitlyn. Factor. That was that. It was a great unique factor. They weren't Trish and Lita. They weren't Trish and Lita. They were their own style.
And
I like
and again, I'm bad with dates, but I think Caitlyn was there. I think technically, so I know Caitlyn because of her work with AJ Lee, not
Mhm.
Uncle AJ, not Uncle Alan, the other AJ. I thought that was mostly 2010s through. So
Yeah,
like I'm
but
I'm
it
gonna
was
probably
still
table
like
them for next week, but
we're gonna
also
but it was still in that
yeah, but that
yeah,
was like
right at the
moving
end,
through
tail end
that.
of '09.
Yeah, but I will take Maria. Like I will
Oh,
take
I
Maria for a
said her
couple different
earlier
reasons.
while you were doing your thing.
Steeler. Well, let me give you like a quick
No, and
let
it's
me
not
put
even
Maria
still.
over. A
It's more of a I could not help but shout out a bunch of people at one time because my goodness, where would we be without these women?
I love that
Go forward with
we
Maria.
have no format typically, and then we have somehow even less format than we did
We
before this week.
tried.
We're
Dude,
going
we
in the
tried.
wrong direction here. We're
We
supposed to be
tried,
figuring this
but
out.
but again, it's we our fandom hits, our our nostalgia hits, and we just flow. And that's for me personally, that's what I like about this is it's two people who can just flow and talk and have the engagement with our audience about yeah, we have made set rules, but sometimes rules are meant to be
Don't
broken.
we? You're the unicorn as you cut a promo on me last week. Don't act like I'm in charge of any of this.
Sometimes rules are meant to be broken, especially when you're talking about like something like this, because every person that we have mentioned since last week, they did something to make what we see today happen.
No,
So,
absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, it's and that's sort of how like when like we're going through like the kind of the methodology of why or how we're picking these. For me, it was that. It was like I wanted to find women, especially around that time, that were like transcendent as far as what they
Mm.
did. So Maria Kanellis for me was uh first of all still one of the most beautiful women ever. Uh
Mhm.
I have a type, I guess. But also like she did both. She did Playboy and did all that stuff. So did like the diva kind of stuff, but also is a really, really good like worker, you know,
Mhm.
when they let her work, and that's um again that in itself was a different presentation because
Mhm.
it was one or the other at that point. It was Molly Holly and Ivory, or it was you know Tori Wilson and whatever, like in the gravy. it
Yeah.
was it was Jacqueline and Victoria, or it
There's
was
Stacy Keebler, who
yeah.
she
And
did some stuff, but, it wasn't like, you know
so fun fact, I knew Stacy before she was a wrestler because I lived in Baltimore for a minute
Oh,
and
so
she was a
you
Baltimore
the
Ravens cheerleader.
cheerleader, Stephanie. I'm sorry, good Lord,
So I
Stephanie Keebler.
uh, I was friends with another Ravens cheerleader, not her, but I was like,
Nice.
gosh, I was a
Stacy.
kid working at Bob Evans and this
Mm.
girl came in with her mom and I'm like, just, doing waiter stuff. Ended up, oh, your bestie might uh, oh, I'm gonna let
Uh-huh.
you have it. I'm gonna let you
I
have it.
know, I know, I
If you're
saw
not
it.
in the live chat, you should because you guys often have better ideas than I will ever have.
Can you
And
tell
thank
why we're
you guys.
besties?
No, thank you guys for go ahead.
'Cause that right there, oh my gosh, Daphne. That that it
You want to talk about a different
Daphne,
presentation in a time where like it
may
was
she rest in peace.
nothing but nitro girls and like literal dancing chicks on TV
In a
was
cage.
the only thing that was happening in WC Dub at the time. You had Daphne who came in and was a character, also a badass,
Mhm.
and was credible.
I
And
was like,
that's
"That screaming girl," and then I was like, "Oh shoot, that screaming
that one.
girl's pretty good."
Really good. No, Daphne's a great pick for that
Yeah,
era.
yeah.
It's phenomenal. And again, very overlooked just because,
Of everything else that was going on.
you had Kimberly
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
DDP, which again,
Or my 40-year-old virgin.
yeah, well, that her I
Yeah.
had to wait that long to see her. Never
Let
mind.
it go, Elsa.
Listen, 13-year-old me was very excited about that for a minute. But you had Kimberly, and who again, the evolution of that of the WCW valet
Mm-hmm.
wasn't to in-ring stuff or wasn't to promos. Like Stacey Keebler was they put her in like a business suit and stuff like that
Yeah,
in
it
WCW. Like,
took
they
her
didn't like
to
yeah,
get to WWF,
yeah.
WWE to do more things. Same thing with Tori Wilson. It took a company to go out of business to see these two women, and actually I'm going to say three, Charmel, to see them in a different light outside
Was
of being
Carmella
the dancer.
WCW?
She was a Nitro girl.
Charmel was.
Yes.
I swear to God, I didn't know that.
Yes. It took that company to close to see who they are, you know? So unfortunate situation, but look what we got from it. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
I
I
had
mean,
one and I forgot it, but I'm gonna remember it real quick
I don't
because
know if I
I got
remember
distracted by
anything.
Charmel. Um, I have Alexandra York,
Oh, I'm trying to
who
remember.
you might know as what was her Marlena
Oh, yes, yes. Very,
in
very, very much of a whole totally different.
yeah.
I mean, this woman in the gold garb smoking a cigar. Like, what was that?
Listen, your Bessie literally said it right after I said it. Look at me,
Yes.
look at us. We're on
See,
right
see,
here.
see, see. And see who
Like
else he posted because he knows better.
it's me blowing your spot
Did,
before
did, did, did you
listen.
see who else he posted in there because
This
he
is
knows
why I'm
better?
on TV and you're in the chat room. All right, you got to get on my. You got to catch up. All right, trying to steal my heat.
Did you see that? Did you see what he said?
No,
Did you see what
no,
he
I
said?
barely.
Read it. Because he knows. I mean, your best
Yeah,
friend
there you
knows
go.
you.
No, exactly, same thing. Out with Doom in WCW. She was the first before Stacy Keebler, the first woman that came out in like a business suit and a briefcase and was like look at me, like girl power kind of thing. And then when she went to the WWF, like she was still glamorous and
Oh, I
still
got one. I
looked
got
great.
one.
Her in the cigar and gold dust and
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Yes.
like, but again, you're talking about like at this point, like I'm talking about transcendence, like women in the business at that time because women's wrestling was evolving. And I say women's wrestling in the macro sense of ring announcers and backstage interviewers and valets and wrestlers and all that for me anyway is one thing because women were starting to be presented very differently on television and it's
Mhm.
because of the women that I am putting on my mountain. uh
And I'm
Marlena
having small
is
country.
one of them for sure.
Someone else on my small country would be Tracy Brooks.
Wow.
Because I mean, if you're gonna
Is that
talk
early
about
2000s? You're making me feel like
if
weird.
if you're gonna talk about the woman in the power suit who turned into a kick-ass woman, why not? She's
No,
gonna
I
be
mean,
in my small country.
listen, I can't argue with that,
No,
obviously. But
and,
like,
and
I
I
mean,
mean, I'm just waiting for her to show up and uh get in the face of the Elegance brand like the rest of the ladies have been doing in the last few weeks. I'm waiting.
so I don't think you may have. I don't know that we actually put Victoria on the mountain. And she has to be.
We did.
Okay.
Victoria and Tara have to be either on a mountain or on my small country.
Are they two different people? I mean, technically, but no.
They're
No.
two different types of crazy.
So I think I've got a couple more that I remember that are people that were but woman. See, that's before our time. We did that last week.
Yes.
Evan. That was
We
woman was on both of our mountains, but yeah.
Woman's on everything. Period.
That's one of your
Don't
That's
get
one
me
of your
started.
favorites. No, I would never.
Get me started.
I'm gonna go. This again a little bit of a sleeper pick because they were on the way out, but I'm gonna go with Dawn Marie because she
Ooh,
was. And that
yeah.
might round out my mountain actually for the early aughts, like whatever. So Dawn Marie did both, and thank you, Evan, for bringing up like the Marlena, the Alexandra York, like so. Seeing like and Stacy Keebler was the same thing. Seeing those women evolve literally be one character. Ivory was like that too. Ivory was, whatever, Tina Ferrari and Glow, and then became an actual like wrestler, and then became Ivory, like that whole, yes, awesome, because I think women should be able to reinvent themselves just like guys do when they repackage a gimmick, like so you didn't really see that with women. Women were kind of like, like the Fabulous Moolah was the Fabulous Moolah.
Mhm.
By the way, Mae Young, we haven't put on we didn't do last week. She's on.
She's her own universe.
She's on every mountain ever.
She's on her own universe.
All of it.
All of it. Freaking Mae Young.
Fucking Mae Young. We try not to swear on the podcast, but I'm fucking Mae Young.
Mae
You can't say it
Young.
without fucking Mae Young. Fucking Mae. It's the government name. It's on her birthday. Fucking Mae Young. You have to say all of it.
It's that's
Put the respect on it.
So when you were away,
but Dawn Marie, because same thing. She could work. She was pretty. She could cut promos. You watched her get destroyed in ECW, and she was still one of the few people. And you remember this too because you brought up Sharmell. Like you didn't get when ECW kind of like folded, when WCW kind of folded. Those people weren't super like they weren't real excited to have them absorbed into the WWF universe. Like so there was even more adversity than those girls were dealing with at just being a girl and wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s. Of that, now you're the outsider. Now you're the quote unquote enemy. Now you're the, you're coming into our house like looking for a job. And this is still the era of you're not going to take my spot era, of wrestling, which, the old school guy in me was like, well, at least they, whatever. Go ahead.
So while I was the main focus, I mentioned, thank you. I mentioned Awesome Kong, and we already know how much we love Awesome Kong. We have talked about her in several episodes. We've talked about Gail Kim in several episodes because, again, Gail Kim was like, I'm done with the bra and panties. I'm about to go do some wrestling. But I'm going to bring her up again. Mickie James. And the reason,
oh my gosh, how did
and I brought her up while you were away, and I also brought up SoCal Val, so shout out to her as well. But Mickie James, a lot of people, including myself, because it took me a minute to remember, she didn't start off as Miss Hardcore Country. No, she was doing some stuff. She was with Raven, and then she did all like. Mickie James is still doing things today, not as much as she used to, but she's got her music. She's doing theater.
I think it's the hard thing is that like
radio,
like
everything.
I don't remember time. So like a lot of these girls, again, like we talked about, like you brought up the Diva Search with like the Bellas or Maurice or like or AJ Lee has been around, like whatever, like where I'm like they've been around for like almost 20 years.
Like they've been there.
So what era do you assign them to? Because they again they transcend those eras,
and Mickie James
so it's hard to
one of those ones because she did this, and
can't argue with that at all.
Between the wrestling, the music, the stage, the radio, and she's showing you can mom so hard and still get out there and do what you got to do. we were leaving the eating area at Sam's Town, and as we're walking, Mickey has Donovan, and they're power walking to go do something, and then an hour and a half later, Mickey's out on the ring doing her thing, so she's shown you can do everything. You can start off as this very small character that probably not too many people are going to remember, and then go all the way to where she is now. So love Mickey James, always gonna love her. Pleasure meeting her as well. 2 thumbs way up.
Listen, I know we brought up Beth,
Yes.
and I might end it with that. Well, that's my mountain. I think we have to eventually recap our respective mountains because we've been,
I don't
even by
remember.
my
Time does not exist.
even by my standards of adult ADHD, I'm like, what were we talking about again?
A lot.
But Beth, I mean, again, shout out to the hustler. Beth is somebody that went through Ohio Valley.
Ohio.
Oh, yeah, Lanolan? Like sheep school. No, but Beth went through Ohio Valley. So or she went through Cleveland Opera. So seeing those women, like what we would say back in the day is these women paid their dues.
Mm-hmm.
And you had like Beth, and you had like Molly Holly, and you had women, Gail Kim, that worked the indies and like did that back in the early 2000s when, again, not the indie wrestling is ever really super glamorous, but back then it was even less glamorous, if you can imagine that. So like having those girls go through like those, like you had to want it. We talked about this a little bit last week where my friend Malia Hosaka, who was a great 90s wrestler and 80s and 90s, I think. I don't know how old she is because it would be rude to ask, but but she's been around for a while. But she came in, like a lot of these women came in an era where like you had to pay your dues. You had to be like getting dressed in a bathroom because you weren't welcome in the locker room. Like, and I'm not making this up, guys.
No.
Like, if you know anything about like the old school like wrestling stuff, like that was how it was. Like, women were not allowed, to be.
You're a lady. You're not supposed to do this.
Right. So a lot of that. So like, but Malia brought up the fact that like, as women have evolved in the wrestling business, as wrestling itself has evolved into sports entertainment, you're seeing diva searches and that sort of thing where these women are looking for an opportunity to not so much be professional wrestlers, but be a star, be like be a personality, be famous. You know what I mean? So like they were using wrestling as a stepping stone to whatever they were going to do next. And this is before, the Mandy Roses of the world quit wrestling because they can make more money on OnlyFans. Wrong with that if that's the path that you want to take. But we're talking about like the Molly Hollies and those women actually worked. They made towns. They actually worked. Beth was one of those women that actually like put in the work,
And I hate that we never got to see the story of Beth and Awesome Kong, because of the medical situation in which Awesome Kong ended up going through at that time. I'm recording, darling. But
Ma, the meatloaf.
Shout out to the mom who supports this. She will always be the head of the Mount Rushmore / the Big Island. But I have one to round out early aughts.
Love it.
Who also
take it home,
end up moving into, a little bit further in. And I'm gonna say Melina. And
how did I forget Melina? God damn.
And with Melina,
it should have been mine.
The tributes now to Melina that Naomi does when she does her splits to get into the ring. But I remember 2019, I'm at work and we were having like some slow down time, and I pull up NWA on YouTube, and
Yeah.
Melina's on there, and Marty Bell, and all these folks. And if it wasn't for Melina, I probably wouldn't know who Thunder Rosa is, and I love Thunder Rosa. But
Oh.
Melina, she was the big Latin star. She was
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
she
Eve
she
Torres,
was
they
she
marketed a lot
was,
as
but
the, you know,
but it was, but you looked at Eve, you're like, okay, Eve Torres, okay, cool. But Melina, it was like you could see visual Melina. But
all
Melina,
right.
she the splits, the managing, then she got in the ring and kicked your ass, she did a little bit of everything. So shout out to her, she's also on my small giant country, because there you cannot mountain all these women, including the ones who I had last week.
So as we take it home,
Taking it home.
give me your five, because we
Oh
do
Lord.
five on the mountain. I know most people think your Mount Rushmore is four people.
And
Woo! But
absolutely.
Ashley will tell you, she'll smarten you up as to why it's not four, it's actually five.
It's fine. And it could actually end up being more than that, but people passed on and they never got to finish the mountain and the other mountain that they were going to do.
You gotta cut the promo. Why
But
is it five?
because according to our great friends at the History Channel, the mountain was supposed to include 4 presidents and Susan B. Anthony.
So
Which
there
is
was
pretty
supposed to be a
interesting.
fifth person
Girl
on the
power.
mountain.
Girl
Girl
power.
power. And a girl.
And
Yeah.
and yeah, at that. So on this mountain, if I have to make a mountain of this era, which is
That
so
is sort
hard,
of the gimmick.
it is so hard.
Remember when you wanted to try to do everybody from like the 2000s
I
to
know.
today? And
I'm
I
so
was like,
glad you talked me out
and
of that.
I
Thank
was the
you.
guy going like, hey, we should probably split this up and at
We
least,
should we should probably, do something with that. We're gonna have Mickey James. We're going to have Serena Deeb. We're going to have Melina. And we're going to have Daphne. Because I like a very diverse mountain.
you got a great vote
And that
so far.
5th one, Lordy, it's China.
Wow. You might you
I
might have
know.
beat me.
This is not a competition. This is.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
so mine, as I put in the thing, it's gonna be Gail Kim,
Yes.
it's gonna be Molly Holly,
Yes.
it's gonna be Christy Hem,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
Did I say Marlena?
You
I said
did.
Marlena. It's gonna
I
be
like it.
Terry Runnels, Marlena, Alexandra York. That's
I love it.
I love that
Love it.
I love that we did that niche of a thing and we legit had not a single overlap between both of our mountains. That's how awesome women
Yeah.
were in the wrestling business as they evolved out of.
Now, next week
the-
may be the implosion of this whole thing.
All right, well, it might be the last episode. I mean, we're gonna make it count, guys. Thanks. We had a good run. If nothing else, some of the best. Is it better to fade away or flame out? Like we're gonna.
Because we already know one person that's gonna be on both of ours.
Well, I'm probably a
'Cause
few. Now, are we gonna do like you want to do 1 week of modern day? Because I swear to God, we can do 2 more weeks of this. I can do
let us check the March calendar.
it's Women's
From
History Month. I'm trying to
I
give you
know.
all the
I know.
fun.
And then I don't know. I forgot what we're doing for April. Oh shoot, hold on, please. One moment. I hit the wrong
I'm glad
button.
I have no idea.
Okay. So we've got
We will be out, not to cut you off as I often do. We will be in Vegas for WrestleMania, by the way.
I'm
guys.
already here in Vegas, so he will be joining me.
We will cut me off. We'll be in Vegas during WrestleMania week, the both of us. So if you guys would like to set up an appearance, if you want to run a podcast, if you would like any interaction with us whatsoever, please find us. We might be doing some stuff with Cauliflower Alley. I might have the trainer to the stars hanging out with me if I can get him out of the gym. But like, yeah, please find us on the strip. Mostly me staggering around at 3 a.m, leaving a poker room or whatever like that. But maybe I heard there was wrestling going on there as well that week. So I've got a great list of almost 40 different wrestling shows that are happening in Las Vegas that are not WrestleMania. So if you are in the area, if you're an indie wrestler that is looking for a way to promote yourself, or if you want to talk about wrestling, I will
We
speak
want
for
to
the
talk
A's.
to you. No, like I was going
We
to
love
tell you
wrestling.
this.
We
want
love
to talk
wrestling.
to you.
Give us a
I want to
reason.
talk to you. I want to
Give
hear
me
some
a
stories.
reason. Yeah.
Oh, Evan, you'll be here in 2 weeks. Find me so we can say hello. But yes, next week is technically the last Friday.
We record this on Friday, guys. We post it
But we
usually on
might have
Mondays.
to figure some stuff out, because we cannot leave so many great women and upcoming women off of the table. There's so, and not just because I'm the chick, right?
I was going to say, if you think I'm going to
saying
argue with you about this, if you think I
No.
need more hate mail, I'm going to be the guy going, "Oh, we've talked about chicks enough. Like, let's
Look,
move on."
the reason why I'm saying this is because, my goodness, every time you turn around, there is some great woman on the horizon. I just got turned on to Nikki Blackheart. Wow. Okay.
Great.
Wow.
Literally looks like Saraya and Rhea Ripley had a kid.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there's so many things, so many different topics, so many different ways that we can
said this
approach
about
it.
Megan Bain. Like, if you're not making money, like whatever.
First of all, I have a Megan Bain rant. And my bestie knows all about the Megan Bain rant, so we're gonna not do, because it's a deep dive, and we don't
save
really
it for the ring. We're not gonna we're deep diving not this week.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next week. Not today.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you guys, you just don't know. We want you to stay tuned. We want you guys to comment, tell us stuff. And if you are an independent wrestler or an up and coming wrestler who's quasi independent or whatever it is, if you are doing like multiple things in the industry, or you're doing things in the industry and outside the industry, and you want someone to see your face, I am happy to have a 5-minute conversation with you so you can plug your stuff, as they say.
Get your shit in, kid. Come on, let's go.
We want to hear everything, and there is so much going on here. You never know where you're going to find us. And
Vegas.
Just a little spoiler alert: my hair won't be this color when you see me. So
now I feel like mine won't either. Maybe.
You never know.
I one of the few executive decisions I'm going to make is we need at least 2 more weeks for this. So next week we're going to talk more about like the 2010s,
the mids,
moving into like whatever. And in honor of what the unicorn just said, we want to make sure that as the old school brother here, give me and my co-host an opportunity to put over that next generation of wrestlers. So what we're going to do after that is talk about the girls doing it now and the next girls, the Nikki Blackhearts of the world, the third generation Malenkos of the world, where
Stone.
The NXT, the girls that just got on TV that we say, oh, they're going to be the next, 4 horsewomen or whatever it is of wrestling.
And it pumps you up when you see these things on social media, when the women are like, you know what, I think I want to come back. I'm like, yes.
Ladies,
let's do this.
Oh my God, let's girl power this up.
Go.
Listen, I made it 3 weeks of this without making a single, like, what are you doing on my podcast? Not in the kitchen jokes. All right.
Because you don't, they'll pop you into the kitchen.
I'm a good cook. I am a good cook. By the way, if you need a place to eat, whatever, I'll be in Vegas.
We're going to be, I,
We'll
I'll
talk
just
about it
put it
next
this
week once
way.
we hammer out.
Next
Yeah,
week,
I mean,
week after next, we're gonna go a little bit more deep diving of things that may happen while Spiffy is visiting Vegas.
it's my second home. Well, third home, I guess technically.
He
But
has no idea.
I don't have it. Think I know where to go.
But you guys, this has been so fun, and I want to thank you guys so much for interacting with us.
For
And
real.
yeah,
It's again,
but
we talk about this
you
like
guys gave the brain a little with all the names you were popping in the comments, and I gotta say, I love, and I because I do this every week, I love how many times woman's name came up because
she's
it's
great.
true. Because it's true. I
That's
said
funny.
I
It's
said
probably it might be your personal favorite.
she's one of my personal favorites, and I don't know what it is because she again was on one of those levels of women who scared the living daylights out of me, but at the same time, man,
So I was never scared of her.
she was.
Like,
I don't know why not.
well, because
She give
to
you
me,
one look, and it was like, oh, she's gonna cut you.
see, no, you have to understand. I've had women look at me like that my entire life. So that
Oh, I have
is,
it. I do it with my face all the time, but and I think
I'm used to that.
yeah.
Like that don't scare me.
But the young kid was, the young kid. She was a anti Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah,
So
very much.
it pretty much was the yin and yang.
Listen, I'll take it home with this. I love the fact that I don't think people talk as much about women's wrestling like this, and they should, because when you talk about men's wrestling, we talk all the time about I prefer this. I like a more technical presentation. I like AEW. I like WWE, and I like sports entertainment versus professional wrestling. I like strong style. I like high flying. With women, they don't have those same conversations. And I think it's important for for Women's History Month and for this discussion to really showcase how diverse even these women, even at a time when that wasn't the primary presentation, it wasn't even the secondary presentation at a lot of times for professional wrestling, is what the girls were doing. These women, these pioneers, like gave us a chance to say, look, I'm not a Trish Stratus person for whatever reason. I like Daphne. I identify more with this. Or
Mhm.
like having that difference. Like I love Awesome Kong. I don't want like some girl that looks like I can break her in half. Or
Mhm.
but that was a very different thing. And it's very important to recognize that, like all other professional wrestling, there's very different flavors of ice cream for very different people. And there's no right answer. That's one of the great things about the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, is even in these very specific topics, you just watch the Ace and I go through an entire era of wrestling, and both of us had mountains with 5 completely different women on them between the both of us. And the great thing is, tomorrow we might think of another 5 women that we didn't even really get into on this broadcast. And that's a beautiful thing. And I'm excited that I get to do this, because I love talking about wrestling just as a whole. And I don't think women's wrestling, especially around this era, got the respect that it should have gotten. So if nothing else, please share this with your people. The podcast drops on Mondays typically. Uh, like us on Apple and Spotify. Please leave us a review. If you have an idea for a topic that we can talk about here on the Mount Rushmore of Wrestling with Spiffy and the Unicorn / Ace, shoot us an email. The information is on the thing. We want to hear from you. The reason we love doing these live on a Friday night, if I can crawl my ass out of bed long enough to do it, is because we get the opportunity to get instant sort of interaction with you guys. And as a performer myself, that's something that's very important to me and Ashley as well. So please continue to find us on a Friday night. please tell your friends. This is a brand new podcast. We're only 6 episodes in, I think, at this point. I don't know. But we're getting some momentum here, guys. Anything else, Ace?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to do this with you and giving me an opportunity to share my
Just happy
thoughts
to
as
ride
a
your
fan.
coattails. Happy
And
to latch on to the talent and
this has been great. And if you want to follow us on our social media, my Instagram is Ash0Berry. I believe my YouTube is also the same, Ash0Berry. TikTok, Ash O Berry. Those are the ones that I do a lot. If you want to see my written, you're going to want to go to X. That is Miss Ash 0579. So I always want to hear some great comments. Leave a message, say hi, hit a follow, share this with your friends. Let us know
you
what you
remind
think.
me, not to cut you out, if you remind me as I edit this, I'll put that on the thing. We're
Oh, yeah, I'll
learning how
send
to
it to
do
you.
podcasts, so I can put the actual. I know. For the unicorn kids, happy Friday night. My name is Spiffy Sean Styles. I am the last of the old school, the modern day Renaissance man. This guy with good hair and a microphone that loves professional wrestling more than almost anything on the planet. And I appreciate the opportunity to share that love with Yins guys, as we say in Pittsburgh. We'll see you back here next week.
Bye, babies.